tell us a little bit about where our building committee is with things, and then introduce our offering today. Oh, by the way, give Randy a big hand, please.
Thank you. What I wanted to do and touched a little bit on last week in the service was just give the congregation an update on building committee, what building committee is doing, kind of what's going to be happening sooner rather than later, and certainly how it fits into the long-term plan of having our own building for us. Let me move over to the side so the folks over here can see the screen as well. So starting a year ago maybe, building committee started having these specific discussions about what we needed to do, what facilities we needed to have. So we started talking to builders who had built churches that seemed to have similar needs to ours. For those of you who did the online survey that we did to kind of identify our priorities, this may look a little familiar. I think we had shared this. This was kind of an initial thing to get our thoughts processing in the right direction. We talked to that builder. Unfortunately, this type of church is a little more than we planned to spend. So we talked to them. We looked at alternatives to better fit our budget. And the next slide will show kind of what he thought was the idea. It's much smaller, about half what that previous plan had been. This is probably not a great fit for what we identified as our priorities. It's just a little too small. So with Tony's help, we found another architect who also happens to be a pastor that we've started talking to discuss alternatives. And the next slide, this slide shows some of the ideas that he came up with that we think we can actually fit within our budget. Building committee is going to be meeting with him this coming week to explore some of those ideas that he has in more detail, see if it really does fit our plans. This is our property at night. No, this is actually hopefully so you can see it a little better, understand what we've got in mind. But one thing I do want to mention, we've talked for quite a while now about the possibility of maybe selling some building lots from the church property to help generate some funds to do some things. Well, in talking to the city, whether we actually want to sell any building lots to somebody, I think we may very well want to do this, what we've shown here, which is plat out lots all along the south side of the property, which is along Bristol, because we found out if we do that, then we don't have to go ahead and install sidewalk all along the street when we want to start our church construction, because they have a little requirement that if a property where you get a building permit on, you have to go ahead and build sidewalk all along its street frontage for these side streets. And this is a little legal trick we might be able to get away with and save ourselves tens of thousands of dollars. So it may be worth it for that alone. Just so everybody understands, building committee's plan is to go ahead and after the meeting with the architect, assuming, yes, this really looks good, his ideas seem to match our needs, we will plan to come back to the congregation next month, so in October, and show you some things that are a little more definitive, give you a little more information, with the intent that we start moving forward with final building plans. We won't be making decisions about selling property, anything like that necessarily, but we do want to show you specifically what building committee thinks is a good plan, give you a chance to look at that and comment on it and provide your feedback before we turn an architect loose for generating a whole bunch of blueprints. But everything we're doing is still moving in the direction of start breaking ground on this property in early next year and have the building open and ready for us next year. So hopefully Christmas of next year, of 2017, we're celebrating that in our own building. We can schedule whatever we'd like, whenever we would like it. We can use that facility for our own needs, to serve the community and everything else, more in terms of what we think's best, not when the church, or I should say in this instance, the school is available for our needs. This will be for our primary use, which I think is going to be wonderful for us as a congregation. While some people are concerned that this is trappings that distract from the mission and the purpose of church, I think we all agree this is one of those things it's necessary actually to let us focus a little bit more, because we do encounter an awful lot of distractions right now in a borrowed facility. So with that, I just wanted to provide you that kind of an update, let you know. With that, it's time for offering.